retiring. The Bucs reportedly signing veteran tight end Kyle Rudolph to a one-year deal. Shannon, you think this means Gronk is definitely retired for sure this time?
Well, I thought the direction that they moved in the draft, they drafted 2 tight ends in the draft. That now they signed Kyle Rudolph, and they brought Cameron Bate back, although O.J. Howard has moved on. He's in Buffalo now, Skip. I think maybe they saw the writing on the wall towards the end of last season that Gronk was kind of wearing down. And, you know, I don't know how much that he loved the game, but I don't know if he loved the practices and all the things that come along with actually that you have to do before you actually play the game. And so I think that was kind of the direction that they were heading in. And, you know, he was like, well, I'll let you guys know. Coming into last season, Skip, he let them know a lot earlier that he was coming back. This year, kind of late. And kind of like, I think the later it got, the more they started to realize that I don't believe Gronk's going to come back this year. And if he does come back, it's probably going to be at some point in time in the season, although I don't believe that's going to happen. So Gronk has said he's done. He says the injuries that he had gone through last year took a toll on his body. We've listed the litany of injuries that he's had over the course of his career, dating back to when he was in college. And Gronk is just not a receiving tight end. They asked Gronk to hold up against defensive linemen, linebackers, and things of that nature. So he has to be a two-way player in order to be his best Rob Gronkowski. So for me, Skip, I didn't need them to sign Kyle Rudolph to convince me that I didn't believe Gronk was coming back, although there's a greater chance now that he isn't coming back. I think this is finally the nail in the coffin. I don't see Gronk coming back. I didn't think he was coming back. Like I said, I think Gronk loves the game of football. He loves playing the game of football. It's the other things, the meeting, the practice, the training in the offseason that gets you prepared to go play the game of football. I think he can do without.
I'm just going on my gut feeling. This is such a golden opportunity for Rob Gronkowski to win yet another ring with one of his closest friends.
Is it going to change the way you think of Gronk if he got 5 rings?
No, it's just fun. It's why you have some regret to this day that you're not still playing. Some regret because you miss that thing about it. You miss winning with the fellas. You miss the camaraderie in the locker room. You miss Sundays. You miss playoff games. It's just you can't replace it in your life.
No.
And he knows that because he's tried to replace it in his life. He's tried a couple of times now to pull away. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to pull away because nothing else you can do can capture the ultimate joy that this can give you. Mm-hmm. And you're close friends with the greatest quarterback who ever played, who's still playing at age 45 in a warm weather city with now a tweaked coaching staff with a head coach that I think you'll like a little more. I think the circumstance will be, I think it'll just be a little smoother ride this time than it was with Bruce Arians. And because of all that, you even have the opportunity to come back at midseason. You can just take off half a year if you want to, as long as you come back ready to go, because you know the offense, you know the quarterback like nobody's ever known the quarterback. And you can even play it by ear. You can see if they get off to a good or a bad start. But if they get off to a decent start, I don't know, November 1st, sometime in there, you could rejoin, and here we go, down the stretch. And you can take far less punishment to have far more joy than your new endeavors will ever give you. So that's why, remember, the agent, it's Drew Rosenhaus. That's right, yeah. Okay, so the agent said, Drew Rosenhaus said, right away, don't be surprised if he comes back.
Right.
And now his girlfriend the other day said, hey, I know him pretty well, and I'm a never say never on this. I don't think it's a done deal. I don't think this is the retirement yet. That's what she said. She said, I'm an honest lady. That's just my gut reaction right now is that. I'm paraphrasing her words, but the point is, 2 people very close to him said, the door is still open for this. And I believe it is, because I don't think Kyle Rudolph will even begin to fill the shoes of Rob Gronkowski, because Kyle Rudolph, he's a full 6 feet 6 inches. So
he's big. He's a big man. He's the size of Gronk, but he ain't Gronk.
I don't think he has the physical stature that Gronk brings to the football. You've been around Gronk, and you just said he's a huge.
He is a huge man,
right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I look at stats, and I look at career stats, and I look at the two best years that Kyle Rudolph ever had is 2012, 2017. He made the Pro Bowl.
Right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
In those years, he caught 53 and 57 balls. And then I look back at Gronk's, if we just do his greatest year ever in New England, we're going back to 2011, but he caught 90 balls for 1,327 yards and 17 touchdowns that led the league that year in touchdowns. The most for Kyle Rudolph were 9 and 8 in his 2 Pro Bowl years. So the numbers would suggest he's like twice the receiver that Kyle Rudolph is. And then last year, you know, Gronk quietly had a pretty good year. I mean, he played 12 games. He had 89 targets. He caught 55 balls for 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. But Kyle goes to the Giants, and again, you could say it's a product of Daniel Jones, but he had a really quiet year, like a scary quiet year, because he played all 16 games. He got only 39 balls thrown to him for 26 catches. So Gronk was 55 catches to 26. Once again, he's doubling his production in 4 fewer games. So, man, listen, Kyle Rudolph caught my eye that night. You might remember that Sunday night game in 2019, another one that sticks in my craw. Minnesota, it's Kirk Cousins at Jerry World against Dak. Remember, Dak drove him down at the end of the game, and he's just on fire. He completes 5 straight passes, and all of a sudden they go Zeke, throw it to Zeke. Remember, and they just fizzled, right? They just fizzled out, and they lost 28-24. Well, early in that game, Kirk Cousins to Kyle Rudolph gave them a 14-0 lead, which shocked me, but he impressed me that night because he's pretty athletic. And if we could see the couple of catches, one was a really nice catch on the end line. This is Kirk Cousins to Kyle Rudolph, flipping it up, and he one hand. So it's, you know, he's got some ability. You know, again.
Well, Skip, you remember he caught the game winner against New Orleans in the playoff game.
That's pretty sweet, and he did. He did.
So,
no, it was good.
He's more athletic than you think.
Here's the other one to Kyle Rudolph. Nice throw. But the one-hander, that's when he caught my eye, and I thought, okay. And he runs decent. He runs decent.
But Skip, that was a while ago. He doesn't run like that now.
Okay. So they're going to take a hit if you're going to try to replace Gronk with Kyle Rudolph for the whole run through the playoffs. It's just not the same. Gronk is a difference maker, even he's about 6 months older than Kyle Rudolph, but at 33, you don't think Gronk could come back in November and make a difference? I believe that, but he'd have to want to do it. He'd have to want to suck it up. He'd have to want to do the meetings. He'd have to want to do everything that goes into it and get hit.
That's the thing.
Get hit.
See, that was the part. I mean, I love the game of football, but they were still hitting. I thought, whoa, if I come back, y'all not gonna hit. At least not as hard. Skip also. Plus, you got to do things to build up to be able to take those licks. So now he's going to have to get, probably 6 weeks of training, 8 weeks of training in to go back out there on the field and do what he needs to do. And that's the question. The longer you get away from something, the easier it. Think about how Tom made that decision in 40 days. Tom said, man, if I sit around here and try to make this decision in June, man, I might, hey.
Okay, but his point was, I got to do it for free agency because they got to know, am I going to be there? And he's still the lightning rod that people will go to play for.
But he also knows he needs to get his body. He needs to tell myself, okay, I'm going to go. Because all of a sudden, April, May, June roll around here. He's like, well, man, let me go now. That's not enough time. He was doing a little something. He said, you know what? I feel pretty good. Let me go ahead and just let them know my mind is where it needs to be. We're going to go play football. But, Skip, look, I didn't really need this Kyle Rudolph signing to convince me that Gronk is done. Skip, I understand what Drew Rosenhaus said, and I understand I have nothing but the utmost respect for his girlfriend. But I heard it from him. I heard it from the horse. No, the trainer and the owner, I didn't hear. I heard it from him. The horse was talking.
Okay,
he said he was done.
She said both Tom and Gronk love to play with the media, toy with the media, and do will he or won't he, and just have fun with it. And maybe he's having fun with it. That was her point.
Yes.
Okay, all I know for sure is you root against Brady, I root for Brady, and I don't like his chances as much with Kyle Rudolph.
He's Tom Brady.
Well, so he's Rob Gronkowski, and you called him the GOAT tight end, right?
But you call Brady the GOAT quarterback, and you say that GOAT quarterback is 4 times more valuable than the tight end. That's what you tell me every day.
I just keep thinking about that play on opening night last year against my Dallas Cowboys at Tampa. They were the defending champs.
Right.
There was that one play where Brady just looked sideways at Gronk, and they realized, oh, he's on a backer.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, you talking about when DeMarcus Ware lined up over there?
Right.
It was a bear front.
Not DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence, yes. And he faked like he was going to block, and then he jets up inside him, and Brady hits for a touchdown.
But all they had to do is just glance like,
Yeah.
you see what I see?
Well, you
Yeah.
see that, and that's the